Lyra stood in the bustling arena, her heart pounding in her chest. The crowd around her was a sea of unfamiliar faces, each one filled with excitement and anticipation. She could hear their shouts, their laughter, but all she felt was a deep sense of dread. Today, she was accused of a crime she didn't commit, and the punishment was more than she could bear. They were going to throw her into the monster pit, a place where many had met their end out as she was dragged forward. Lyra's thoughts drifted to her home, far away from this cruel place. She remembered the wide open fields of her planet, the warmth of the sun on her skin, and the laughter of her friends. But those memories felt distant now, like a faded dream. She longed to reconnect with those moments, but she was trapped in a reality that felt cold and unwelcoming. Just as she was about to reach the edge of the pit, a figure broke through the crowd. It was Marcus, a human soldier she had met during her time on the planet. He had always been kind to her, treating her with respect even when others looked down on her. Their friendship had blossomed despite the differences between their species. And now, as he rushed toward her, Lyra felt a flicker of hope. "Lyra," Marcus shouted, pushing through the throng of people. "I won't let them do this to you." Before she could respond, he jumped into the pit without a second thought. The crowd gasped, their cheers turning to confusion. Lyra's heart soared at his bravery, but fear gripped her. Would he be able to help her? The pit was filled with terrifying creatures, and she had seen others thrown in before, never to return as Marcus landed beside her. He quickly gathered himself, looking around with determination. "We need to work together," he said, his voice steady. "I'll protect you," Lyra nodded, feeling a surge of strength. They stood back to back as the first monster emerged from the shadows, a huge, scaly beast with razor-sharp teeth. The creature roared, its eyes glinting with hunger. But Lyra wasn't afraid. She remembered the lessons Marcus had taught her about courage and teamwork. "Let's do this," Marcus shouted, charging at the monster. Lyra followed his lead, using her agility to dodge the beast's attacks. Together, they fought fiercely, their movements synchronized as they evaded and struck. The crowd above watched in awe, their fear turning to admiration as the unlikely duo battled the monster. For every creature they faced, their bond grew stronger. Lyra learned to trust Marcus, and he found inspiration in her resilience. They shared stories between fights, laughter breaking the tension as they discovered more about each other. Lyra spoke of her home, her family, and her dreams, while Marcus shared tales of his life on Earth, his struggles, and his hopes for the future as they faced the final showdown against the largest monster. Lyra felt a rush of determination. She had found a friend in Marcus, someone who believed in her when no one else did. "We can do this," she said, her voice firm. Together, with a plan in mind, they worked in harmony, using their strengths to outsmart the beast. Lyra lured it into a trap, and Marcus delivered the final blow. The crowd erupted into cheers as the monster fell, and Lyra and Marcus stood victorious, united in their triumph as they climbed out of the pit. Lyra felt a wave of relief wash over her. The cheers of the crowd were no longer filled with cruelty, but with respect and admiration. She had not only survived, but had also formed an unbreakable bond with Marcus. Standing together, they faced the crowd, no longer just a soldier and an alien girl, but symbols of hope and friendship. Lyra realized that distance didn't matter anymore. She had found someone who understood her, someone who cared in that moment. Lyra knew that she would never feel alone again. With Marcus by her side, she could face anything. They would work to bridge the gaps between their worlds, showing others that unity was possible. Together, they could inspire change and create a future where differences were celebrated. As they walked away from the pit, Lyra felt a sense of purpose. She had found her place in this universe, and with Marcus, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would rewrite their stories, turning fear into courage and isolation into connection. And so, they stepped into a new beginning, hand in hand, ready to conquer the stars. Asterisk after their incredible victory in the monster pit, Lyra and Lyra. Marcus stood together, feeling the warmth of the crowd's admiration. The cheers filled the air, wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. But as the excitement began to fade, Lyra felt a familiar ache in her heart. Although she had found a friend in Marcus, her thoughts drifted to those she had left behind. On her home planet, days passed, and Lyra settled into her new life on the planet where she had once faced fear and hatred. Her friendship with Marcus blossomed, and together they worked to promote understanding between their species. They organized meetings, shared their stories, and encouraged others to see the value in diversity. But despite her newfound strength and purpose, Lyra couldn't shake the feeling of distance that lingered in her heart. She missed her family, her mother's gentle smile, her father's encouraging words, and the laughter of her friends. The memories flooded her mind, making her feel both warm and sad. She longed to reconnect with them, to share her experiences and show them how much she had grown. But how could she reach out to them from so far away? One evening, while sitting with Marcus under a sky filled with stars, Lyra spoke about her feelings. "I miss my home," she admitted, her voice soft and filled with longing. "I want to tell my family what I've done here, to show them I'm okay." Marcus looked at her with understanding. "I can help you," he said. "We can send messages back to your planet. I know a way to communicate across galaxies." Lyra's heart fluttered with hope. "Really? You would help me?" "Of course." "Friends help each other," he replied, smiling. "Let's find a way to make it happen." The next day, Marcus took Lyra to a nearby station that housed advanced communication technology. It was a bustling place, filled with people from different worlds, all trying to connect with loved ones far away. Lyra's excitement grew as they approached a large glowing console. "This is it," Marcus said, gesturing to the machine. "We can send a message using a special transmitter. It will travel through space and reach your family." Lyra's hands trembled as she thought about what to say. She wanted to express her love and let them know she was safe, but words felt inadequate. What if they don't understand? She worried. What if they think I've changed too much? Marcus placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Just be honest. Speak from your heart. They will feel your love, no matter the distance." With Marcus's encouragement, Lyra stepped up to the console. She took a deep breath and began to record her message. "Hello, my dear family," she started, her voice quivering. "I am safe. I have made new friends, and I am learning so much. I miss you all very much." As she spoke, tears filled her eyes. "I want to share my adventures with you. I have faced many challenges, but I am stronger now. I hope you can see that. I am happy, even if I'm far away." When she finished, Marcus smiled at her. "That was beautiful," he said. "Now we can send it." Lyra watched as Marcus pressed a series of buttons, and the console hummed with energy. Her message was sent into the vastness of space, traveling toward her home planet. She felt a mix of anxiety and hope. Would her family receive it? Would they understand how much she cared? Days turned into weeks, and Lyra eagerly awaited a response. She spent time with Marcus, helping him in his efforts to bring different species together. They organized gatherings, shared food, and celebrated their cultures. But in quiet moments, Lyra found herself staring at the stars, wondering about her family. Then, one afternoon, while they were setting up for another event, a notification buzzed on the console at the communication station. Lyra rushed over, her heart racing. Is it from my family? She asked, breathless with anticipation. Marcus checked the screen, and a smile broke across his face. Yes, you have a message. Lyra's heart soared as she read the words from her family. They expressed their love, told her how proud they were, and shared stories from home. They talked about the changes in their village, how they missed her, and how her bravery inspired them to be more open-minded about others. Tears of joy streamed down Lyra's face. They understand. They still love me, she exclaimed, her voice filled with happiness. In that moment, she felt the distance between them shrink. Her family's love reached her, bridging the gap that space had created. With Marcus by her side, Lyra replied to her family, sharing more stories and photos of her adventures. She wanted them to see the beauty of her new life and the friendships she had made. Each message exchanged filled her heart with warmth and hope, reminding her that love could conquer any distance. As time went on, Lyra grew more confident. She realized that reconnecting with her family didn't mean she had to give up her new life. Instead, she could embrace both worlds. She began to advocate for unity, not just for her species, but for all beings across the galaxy. One night, as Lyra and Marcus stood together, looking up at the stars, Lyra felt a sense of peace. I've learned that even when we feel distant from those we love, we can find ways to connect, she said, her voice steady. Marcus nodded, his eyes shining with pride. You've shown incredible strength. Lyra, you've turned your sadness into hope and created a bridge between your past and your present. After reconnecting with her family, Lyra felt a renewed sense of purpose. The messages exchanged had filled her with hope, but she still felt a lingering sadness. While she had embraced her new life with Marcus and the friends they had made together, there was a part of her that yearned for the familiar comforts of home. She missed her family's laughter, the smell of her mother's cooking, and the stories shared under the stars of her own planet. One evening, as Lyra and Marcus prepared for another community event, she couldn't shake the feeling of distance that still lingered in her heart. The event was meant to celebrate unity among different species, but Lyra felt a heaviness inside. She watched as Marcus organized the decorations, his enthusiasm infectious, but her mind wandered. Marcus, she said, her voice soft. Do you ever feel distant from someone you care about? Marcus paused, looking up from the colorful banners he was hanging. Of course. I've moved around a lot, and sometimes I miss my friends back on Earth. Why do you ask? Lyra sighed, her shoulders slumping. I feel closer to my family now that we are able to communicate, but it's still not the same as being with them. I want to show them what I've learned, but I don't know how to bridge the gap. Marcus put down the banner and walked over to her. You're doing great, Lyra. You've already taken a big step by reaching out. But maybe it's time to bring them here, in a way. What do you mean? Lyra asked, her curiosity piqued. What if we create a virtual experience for them? We can use the communication technology to give them a taste of your new life here. They can see the world you've become a part of, Marcus suggested, his eyes bright with excitement. Lyra's heart raced at the idea. That could work. I can show them the beauty of this planet and the friendships I've made. But how do we set it up? Marcus grinned. Let's get started. We can record videos, take pictures, and even organize a live stream. Your family can join us and see everything in real time. With newfound energy, Lyra and Marcus set to work. They spent the next few days planning, gathering materials, and rehearsing what they wanted to share. Lyra felt a spark of hope as they prepared to give her family a glimpse into her life. This project became her focus, a way to reconnect and bridge the distance that had felt so overwhelming. On the day of the virtual experience, Lyra was both excited and nervous. She had set up a beautiful spot in the community garden, filled with vibrant flowers and the sounds of laughter from their friends. Marcus helped her adjust the communication console, ensuring everything was ready. As the time approached, Lyra took a deep breath. What if they don't like it? What if they think I've changed too much? Marcus placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Just be yourself, Lyra. They love you for who you are, not where you are. This is your chance to show them that you are still their daughter, their friend. When the moment finally arrived, Lyra activated the console. The screen lit up, and soon her family's faces appeared, their expressions filled with love and excitement. Lyra, her mother exclaimed, tears of joy in her eyes. We've missed you so much. Hi, everyone. Lyra waved, her heart swelling with happiness. I'm so glad to see you. As she began to show them around the garden, her family gasped in amazement. Lyra pointed out the colorful flowers, the strange yet beautiful trees, and the friendly creatures that lived nearby. She introduced them to Marcus, who waved enthusiastically. This is my friend Marcus. He's been helping me adjust to life here. Nice to meet you, Marcus said, smiling warmly. Lyra continued to share stories of her adventures, from the time she had fought in the monster pit alongside Marcus to the community events they had organized. Her family listened intently, their eyes wide with interest. They laughed at her stories, and Lyra felt the distance between them shrinking with every word. As the virtual experience continued, Lyra's confidence grew. She showed them the food she had learned to cook, the traditions she had adopted, and even the friendships she had formed with other species. You would love my friends here, she said. They are so kind and welcoming. We celebrate our differences. Her mother smiled, wiping her eyes. We are so proud of you, Lyra. You've grown so much, and it's clear that you are happy. Lyra felt a wave of relief wash over her. I am, but I still miss you all. I want to bring you here someday to see it for yourselves. We would love that, her father chimed in. We will find a way to visit you. Just knowing you are safe and happy is enough for us. As they continued to talk, Lyra realized that the distance she had felt was slowly fading. Her family's love reached her across the stars, reminding her that no matter where she was, she would always be connected to them. They shared laughter and stories, filling the space with warmth and joy. When the experience came to an end, Lyra felt a bittersweet tug in her heart. Thank you for joining me today. I love you all so much, she said, her voice thick with emotion. We love you too, Lyra, her mother replied, her smile bright. We are proud of the person you have become. You are still our daughter, no matter how far apart we are. As the screen faded, Lyra turned to Marcus, her heart full. Thank you for helping me. I couldn't have done this without you. Marcus smiled, looking pleased. You did this, Lyra. You showed incredible bravery by sharing your life with them. You've turned your feelings of distance into a powerful connection. Lyra nodded, feeling a sense of hope blossom within her. She realized that reconnecting with her family didn't mean she had to choose between her old life and her new one. She could embrace both, creating a bridge between the worlds. Together, Lyra and Marcus continued to work towards building unity among their communities. They inspired others to reach out, share their stories, and celebrate their differences. Lyra knew that, just like her family, everyone had the power to connect, to understand, and to love, no matter the distance. As they stood in the garden, surrounded by the beauty of their friendship and the hope for the future, Lyra felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. With Marcus by her side and her family in her heart, she knew they could overcome any challenge together. And so, they walked forward, hand in hand, ready to conquer the stars. After the successful virtual experience with her family, Lyra felt a renewed sense of hope. She had shown them her new life, and they had responded with love and understanding. But even with this connection, a small part of her still felt distant. While she was thriving in her new home, she couldn't shake the feeling of longing for the familiar comfort of her family. One day, while walking through the vibrant community garden with Marcus, Lyra shared her lingering feelings. "I'm so grateful for my family's support, but sometimes I still feel alone," she admitted, looking down at the colorful flowers swaying in the breeze. "I want to create something special for them, something that shows them how much they mean to me and that I'm still their Lyra." Marcus nodded, his expression thoughtful. "What if we create a special project that combines both worlds? You could share your culture with your family, and we could invite them to be part of it." Lyra's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea, but how do we do it?" "We can gather stories, traditions, and even recipes from your culture. Then we can make a digital scrapbook or a video that includes messages from your friends here. It would be a way to celebrate both your home and your new life," Marcus suggested. Lyra felt excitement bubbling inside her. "Yes, I can show them who I am now while keeping my roots alive. This will help them feel closer to me." With a plan in place, the two friends set to work. Lyra gathered stories from her family, remembering childhood tales her grandmother had told her about their culture. She also asked her friends in the community to share their experiences, traditions from their different backgrounds that would resonate with her family. They spent hours collecting recipes, stories, and heartfelt messages, all while celebrating the beauty of their diverse cultures. As they worked, Lyra began to feel the distance between her and her family fading away. Each story she collected filled her heart with warmth. She would share her first dish, a traditional meal from her home planet, and she could picture her family's smiles as they shared in her experiences. One day, as they were editing the video together, Lyra paused. "What if my family feels overwhelmed by everything? I don't want them to think I've changed too much." Marcus smiled. "Change is a part of life, Lyra. You're still the same person, just with more experiences and stories to tell. They love you for who you are, not just where you come from." His words reassured her. "You're right. I want them to see that. I'm still me, just growing and learning." After weeks of hard work, their project was finally complete. Lyra felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she prepared to share it with her family. They set up the communication console once more, and Lyra took a deep breath. "Here we go," she said, her heart racing. As the screen lit up, her family's faces appeared, glowing with anticipation. "Lyra, we're so excited to see what you've made," her mother exclaimed. "Hi, everyone. I've been working on something special for you," Lyra said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. She pressed play, and the video began. The screen filled with images of her home planet, showcasing its beauty, the mountains, the rivers, and the fields where she had played as a child. Lyra's voice narrated the stories, sharing her childhood adventures and the lessons she had learned. Lyra stood in the middle of the community garden, surrounded by the vibrant colors of flowers and the laughter of friends. Although she had come a long way since her arrival on this planet, she still felt moments of sadness and longing. The connection she had built with her family through the virtual experience had been heartwarming, but she still missed them deeply. Some days, the distance felt heavy, like a weight on her chest. One afternoon, as she helped Marcus set up for another community event, Lyra shared her feelings. "I love being here and making new friends, but I still feel a little lost sometimes. I want to be closer to my family, but I don't know how to bridge the gap." Marcus paused, placing down a colorful banner. He turned to her with a thoughtful expression. "You've already made such a big effort to connect with them. Maybe it's time to bring a piece of your family here." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" "What if we create an event that celebrates your culture? You can share your family's traditions, stories, and food with everyone here. It could be a way to honor your roots while also bringing your family closer to your new life, Marcus suggested. Lyra felt a spark of excitement. That's a wonderful idea. I can share stories from my childhood, teach everyone how to make Zira stew, and even show them some of our traditional dances. Yes, this can be a way for your friends to understand your background better, and you can invite your family to join us virtually. It could make them feel involved in your life here, Marcus encouraged. With a renewed sense of purpose, Lyra began planning the event. She reached out to her friends in the community, inviting them to share in the celebration of her culture. They all agreed to help, excited to learn more about Lyra's background. As they prepared, Lyra felt a wave of hope wash over her. This event would not only strengthen her connections with her family, but it would also create a wonderful opportunity for her friends to experience her culture. She felt empowered, knowing she could bring joy and understanding to those around her. The day of the event arrived, and the garden was filled with decorations inspired by her home planet. Bright banners fluttered in the wind, and tables were set with dishes that showcased the flavors of her culture. Lyra felt nervous, but excited as she prepared to share her stories and traditions. As the guests began to arrive, Lyra took a deep breath. She spotted Marcus helping a group of children learn about her home planet's games. The laughter and joy around her filled her heart with warmth. When it was time for Lyra to speak, she stood in front of the crowd, her heart racing. Thank you all for coming. Today, I want to share my culture with you. It means so much to me to have you here. Lyra began by telling stories from her childhood, describing the festivals and celebrations she had experienced. She spoke of the colors, the music, and the laughter that filled the air. As she talked, she could see her friends listening intently, their faces filled with curiosity and admiration. Next, she moved on to demonstrate how to make Zira stew. This dish is special to me. It reminds me of my family and the love we share, she said, guiding everyone through the steps. As the aroma of the stew filled the air, her friends gathered around, eager to help while they cooked. Lyra shared more about her family, telling stories of her mother's cooking and how her father had taught her to appreciate the beauty of their traditions. She could feel the connection growing stronger, not just with her family far away, but also with her friends who were eager to learn. After they finished cooking, Lyra invited everyone to try the stew. This is best when shared with friends, she said, smiling as they gathered around the tables to taste the meal. As they ate, Lyra's heart swelled with happiness. Her friends laughed and shared their own stories, creating a beautiful tapestry of cultures coming together. The distance she had once felt seemed to dissolve as they celebrated her heritage. Then, it was time for the final part of the event. Lyra turned to the communication console, knowing her family would be joining them virtually. I want to share this moment with my family. They might not be here physically, but they are always in my heart. With a push of a button, her family's faces appeared on the screen, their smiles brightening the room. Lyra, her mother exclaimed, tears of joy in her eyes. We're so proud of you. Hi, everyone. I'm sharing my culture with my friends today, Lyra said, her voice filled with excitement. I made Zira stew, and I want you to see how much it means to me. As Lyra introduced her friends and shared the stories of her traditions, her family watched with pride. They saw how much happiness her new life brought her and felt as if they were right there with her. Lyra could see her mother's eyes sparkle with joy, and it filled her with warmth. After the meal, Lyra led everyone in a traditional dance, inviting her friends to join in. The music played, and soon everyone was laughing and moving together, celebrating the connection they had built. Lyra's family watched, clapping along and cheering her on. When the dance ended, Lyra turned to the screen. Thank you for being here with me today. I love you all so much, and I hope you can feel how close you are to me, even if we are far apart. We feel it, Lyra, her father said, his voice filled with emotion. "We are always with you. In spirit." As the event came to a close, Lyra felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had successfully brought her worlds together, creating a celebration of love and understanding. The distance that had once felt so heavy was now filled with hope and connection. After saying goodbye to her family, Lyra turned to Marcus, her eyes shining. "Thank you for believing in me and helping me bring my family into my life here. I couldn't have done it without you." Marcus smiled, his heart swelling with pride. "You did this, Lyra. You took the step to share your culture and connect with everyone. You are an incredible person." Lyra felt a surge of gratitude. She had transformed her feelings of distance and sadness into a celebration of love, proving that no matter where one is in the universe, connection is always possible. As they cleaned up the garden, Lyra realized that she had found her place in this world. With Marcus by her side and her family in her heart, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would continue to inspire others to cherish their connections and celebrate their differences. And so, hand in hand, they walked forward, ready to conquer the stars. After the wonderful cultural event, Lyra felt a mix of happiness and lingering sadness. She had celebrated her traditions with her friends and connected deeply with her family, but the feeling of distance still weighed on her heart. Though they had shared so much through the screen, she longed to be with her family in person, to feel their hugs and hear their laughter in the same space. One evening, as Lyra and Marcus walked through the community garden, she expressed her feelings. "I loved sharing my culture and traditions, but I still feel sad sometimes. I want to see my family in person, not just on a screen," she said, her voice soft. Marcus nodded, understanding her emotions. "It's natural to feel that way, Lyra. You've made great progress, but missing your family is part of loving them. Maybe there's a way to bring them closer to you, even if it's not in person." "What do you mean?" Lyra asked, turning to him with curiosity. "Well, we could organize an exchange program. You could invite some of your family members to come here and experience your life. It would be a chance for them to see your world and for you to be together," Marcus suggested. Lyra's eyes brightened with excitement. "That's a fantastic idea, but how do we make it happen? It's a long way for them to travel." "We can start by reaching out to your family and talking about the idea. We can also look into the resources available for travel and see if there are programs that can help," Marcus replied. Feeling a surge of hope, Lyra eagerly sent a message to her family, sharing Marcus's idea. She expressed how much she wanted them to visit and experience her new life. Days passed, and Lyra anxiously awaited their response. Would they be able to come? Would they want to? Finally, a message arrived. Lyra's heart raced as she opened. Lyra, we love your idea. We want to visit and see where you've been living. We are excited about the opportunity to learn about your new life," her mother wrote. Lyra jumped with joy. "They want to come? They really want to come," she exclaimed, beaming with happiness. Marcus smiled, sharing in her excitement. "That's amazing. Now we can help them plan their visit." Over the next few weeks, Lyra and Marcus worked diligently to prepare for her family's arrival. They researched travel options and learned about the best ways to welcome them to this new world. Lyra felt a growing sense of anticipation and hope. This was a chance to bridge the distance that had felt so heavy for so long. As the date of her family's arrival approached, Lyra was filled with a mix of excitement and nervousness. What if they didn't like her new life? What if they felt out of place? She shared her worries with Marcus during their preparations. "Lyra, they love you. They'll be happy to see you and experience your world," Marcus reassured her. "Just be yourself and show them the things you love about this place." The day finally arrived. Lyra stood at the entrance of the community garden, her heart racing with anticipation. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over everything. She had decorated the garden with flowers and lights, creating a welcoming atmosphere for her family.